Welcome back to the Eric Krown crypto channel. Wishing you a happy and healthy start to this nice Tuesday morning over here, of which it is a preparation for the next day to come, as we have the FOMC minutes coming out, which usually, realistically should not be a big event. However, because the results are really already known, however, has been used in the past to move markets. So this is a preparation for that. I wanted to follow up on the higher term time frame signals that we've been looking at. And I suspect without further ado, let's just jump into it right now. I wanted to start it off right off the bat with this big chart. This is the big chart, the one chart to rule them all, the big chart that we've been following for a long time here, running off of these signals, governing the biases, and we have a conclusion of the prior signal. So first, let me explain what the actual signal is. It is a volatility versus stochastic momentum signal. We're looking at the volatility of stochastic momentum, to be exact, actually, versus the stochastic momentum oscillator right here. Anyways, anytime that we have seen the volatility of stochastic momentum get down to extreme lows, the expansion phase from those extreme lows has led to an average move of, updated by the way, 23.76%. Why is it updated? Because we just got another iteration confirmed and well, over and done with as of last night CME closure. On top of that, the average days taken to find the next major high or low is 8.64, so just over 8.5 days. And the stochastic momentum oscillator, this number actually should go up, but I need to redo that. So fair enough. Anyways, it'll be going up into the low 90s, I suspect. Anyways, with that in mind, there is another signal, a brewing here. So while we did play out the last signal for a almost 12% gainer right there, which we have actually seen in the past before, we've seen over here, 14%, and I think, again, 10% over here. So that is within the context of past results, definitely on the lower end of the prior average, and the average days very much in alignment with a lot of the other ones that we've seen as well. There is another signal, a new signal brewing. As you'll notice, the volatility component of this has once again gone on for a full reset. So what does that essentially imply? It essentially implies that we have this setup fresh again, essentially. And the stochastic momentum pivot is now 24,350. So what essentially am I looking for to define the next, basically major move, probably borne upon by tomorrow's economic event? Well, in this case, I want to see the volatility have a clean and clear tick up. Like you see over here, that first tick up where we do see a change in slope to the upside, that's where the direction is set. That's when I look at this stochastic momentum oscillator to give a good bias on direction. In this case, it is obviously pointed to the downside right now, but it's a long day left to go, about 13 hours, 49 minutes and 46 seconds left to be exact. And it is, well, not that far away from current price action. So again, as long as Bitcoin's below that region, I do still look at this as more likely to be the top of our current bear market rally. And if we were to play around with the numbers right here, what would shaving off about 24% of price action look like? Well, that put Bitcoin basically around its current lows, somewhere around 19 to 20,000 bucks, which perhaps is an interesting area to be aware of if Bitcoin does confirm down from here. So I wanted to now bleed that into the next chart. This chart we also looked at yesterday. It's fully confluential. No, it's confluential with the chart that we just looked at, but coming at it from a completely different angle. This is the BBWP indicator, also measuring volatility, not to be confused with the prior one that we just looked at. They're completely different calculations, but in this case, this one is also coming down for an extreme low read, which over the past year, extreme low reads have led to an average move about just over 25% done over the course of just over 14 days. So again, very comparable with the past signal. We have good confluence there coming at it from multiple different angles. We're looking at a big move from here. If it comes to the upside, you're looking probably somewhere around 28 to as much as 29,000 bucks. That puts you around 25%. To the downside, we already looked at that, basically around the current low, somewhere between 19 and 20,000 bucks. Basically evolving from where Bitcoin's currently at right now. Here's the thing though, this is all relevant to the higher term timeframes, and basically as long as Bitcoin is below this momentum pivot, I do look for the probabilities align with more downside than upside, probably happening today, not necessarily, probably happening tomorrow, not necessarily today. The thing is though, is that if we go down to the lower term timeframes, there are a few things to be aware of right now. Lower term timeframe stochastic momentum is starting to, well, potentially curl around again. It will turn up above 24,180 on the 4-hour time frame, and also be fulfilling a test of this trend line that has been governing the lows since the 26th of July. So I'm talking about this low right here, and potentially here if it does start to turn up again, and then Bitcoin confirms back above the short-term time frame pivot, which is 24,350 on a 4-hour closing basis. Until then, momentum is, obviously to the downside and nothing really changes there. But I do want to, if we are looking at the short-term timeframes, can Bitcoin put in a bounce from here? Yeah, definitely. 3-hour time frame pivoted at 24,300, so kind of around the same region. Hourly time frame pivoted around 24,080 bucks. Bi-hourly time frame also pivoted around 23,935. So lower term time frames can very easily put in a bounce. The question is, does the bounce get above any sort of critical regions? If it does, if it gets above on a 4-hour closing basis, 24,350, then the daily pivot over here, the daily momentum pivot, will obviously be, or will very likely be fulfilled by closure. And then I'd be looking for another move back up towards the top side of that, basically somewhere around 25,000 bucks, and the upside can still very much emerge from there. Not only that, but we would have hidden bullish evidence confirmed as well if this confirms as a higher low. Again, needs to be above 24,350. So that's kind of like the big area for the boo laws in the short term that can have bleed on over effects into the higher term timeframes. Until then, obviously more bearish than bullish. Here's the thing as well. If we go over here to the daily, there is potential for regular bearish divergence if Bitcoin confirms a local high. How would Bitcoin confirm a local high? Same criteria as yesterday, either a trade below Friday's low, which is 23,600, or a closure below about 23,800. One of those two scenarios would do it for me. And then also the buy daily, which is closing tonight, would have potential for hidden bearish evidence. And this potential is basically available as long as Bitcoin's below like 30,000 bucks, especially. So, it'll always kind of be relevant there. But for right now, same sort of criteria as before. Below 23,600 confirms this is a local high, and that's not going to look too hot. Same thing on the 5-day as well, which I believe just closed last night, which has potential hidden bearish evidence. If you go all the way back to, the May highs at 30,000. Let me just double check. 37.92 RSI versus 38.03. So yes, there would be potential hidden bearish evidence if Bitcoin were to confirm a local high right here. And that would probably be the good indication that Bitcoin would come down to 20,000 bucks, maybe a little bit below. How would you confirm that on this time frame, the 5-day, a very powerful time frame? Basically below last 5-day low, which is 22,630. Then you have a nice little spinning top right here, and then back down, blah, blah, blah. You get the point. All right, sweet. So again, you can kind of see how both sides are set up coming into this event, and obviously very, very likely that event's probably going to push things, over one side in this case. Until Bitcoin's back above even the short-term time frame pivots, obviously I'm going to be leaning towards the downside. But as of the current moment in time, I'm looking for the obvious signal, which will very likely present itself. Other than that, I've been uploading like a madman on Instagram recently with intraday updates, also non-trading related content, more lifestyle stuff as well if you happen to give a fuck, and then also more trading related content as well. There is a link in the description below. Obviously, it's 100% free and everything. Other than that, Bybit's offering 100, or no, they're offering 100% off of their options fees. No, 50% off of options fees if you use the link in the description below for the options traders. And BitGet has their trading competition, which is right here, which you can join if you like. It's just like a small community one, actually. Small prize pot, but also not too many people to compete against. So if that interests you, then go check that out. Okay, cool. I think that is going to do it for today. I want to be wishing you well. Take care, much love, and see you hopefully soon.